Streaming in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show that returns from the host being sick like a dog for basically a week. Come back on a Monday to discuss pro wrestling and everything that's happened, basically. Tournament season of the summer, it is, the stuff is happening as we speak, probably somewhere off in the globe. A tournament match is taking place. I'm your host, Ryan Knightsey. I'm coughing. I'm still recovering from sickness. I got a little bit of a cough, but other than that, I'm still getting better. And with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, the healthiest man this side of the Mississippi, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm here. I have a lot to say on a lot. We don't have a lot of topics today, but I got a lot to say. So even if there's not a lot of topics, there'll be a lot of me jibber jabbering, and that's all you need to. That's all you need to know.
He was
G1. I'm coming for you.
You were working stiff in the pre-texting before the show.
Yeah. I'm working a little stiff lately. I don't have anything to hold back anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, no, the bad news about so here's the thing about being sick and having like a fever and everything. So it's like, I think I had like some sort of sinus infection or whatever. So I had like a fever right around my temple.
Yeah, so you're in massive pain.
Massive pain. My back also hurt for some reason. But so like
it just be old.
It was like I had a headache and a fever and everything. So I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
And at a time when so in like time when you want to like catch up and watch all the wrestling that you've missed throughout the entire year, it's like I can't keep my eyes open at all for like 3 days. So I've done my best to get
you. I did catch up on all wrestling throughout the year, which is pretty crazy. So
you're fully caught up in your list?
Fully caught up, baby. Just have to watch Stardom show today.
God
and
damn.
I'm done.
God, and there's really only like 3 matches that matter technically.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean I watch them all I watch the ones that don't matter.
Sure.
Like just periodically while I'm doing things. But yeah, I'm pretty much there. It's pretty crazy. I haven't been this caught up in forever. I mean the G1's back tomorrow, so that'll ruin everything. But
yeah,
it was nice.
10 more matches slapping right on your desk or whatever.
If you think I'm watching every match, you're nuts. I haven't watched one Chase Owens match, and I'm the happiest person that's watched the G1 this year.
I have watched
besides people that probably haven't watched.
That's fair. I've watched every match up to night 5. That's as much as I can get it caught up to.
Well, folks, don't you worry. I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, he'll take care of me. But I did watch night 2 of Stardom with the matches that matter, so I got that over you, I guess.
You do.
I watched 3 matches over your 50, whatever.
Yeah, the G1's long.
Yeah, the G1's long. But how are you doing otherwise? How's things going with the new job and whatnot?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I can't complain. I mean, work 9 to 5 from home, punch out. Rest of my day's mine. I'm sitting here recording. In my old job, this wasn't even imaginable.
No.
So this is great. And I mean, I get to keep up to date with all the wrestling going on, which because there's something new every day. Not about All In, but everything else, there's something new.
Yeah.
All In doesn't exist, folks.
We'll get to All In a moment for sure.
Let's just say they're not All In.
Well, they're slowly starting to be All In. They're it's funny. I was watching a clip today of Jeff Jarrett doing promo for All In London. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, what is he promoting? What matches? Like what the show is
the Road 2 show to All Out.
The show is literally just we're going AEW making their debut in London, England at Wembley. The tickets are sold basically everywhere, like 70,000 sold. No matches to promote, just some Early what? They're selling tickets to nothing? I mean, what are we doing here?
I have so many takes on this. I'm gonna save them. I'm gonna save them till we get there.
I mean, why don't we just open the bag? I feel like going loose.
Ah,
I'm
all right,
typically,
let's go with
I
it.
typically have like a timeline of things. There are topics we're going to talk about. SummerSlam, of course. G1 Climax, 5-star, and Saya Kamatani. Noah's and one tournament's happening this weekend.
Come on now.
But we have topics here, but I feel like it's
Maybe the worst opening night of a tournament I've ever seen.
yeah, and I feel like this episode maybe we go flat. I was gone last week, so maybe we can get some of my Death Before Dishonor thoughts.
Yeah, well, that's it. This is perfect. Let's just start off with all AEW related.
Yeah, baby.
Which
when do we do
starts
that?
with a little bit of blood and guts.
Let him
A little bit of
blood
Death
and guts.
Before Dishonor.
Mhm.
So Ryan, let me ask you. Let me take the chair over once again for a second. Then I'll give it back. I don't want it too long. Last week was a struggle and a half for me. I was like, I don't know how to run this show. This is why Ryan's here.
Well, I appreciate that, I guess.
No, I mean it. I mean it. I was like, this system works with Ryan in charge, not me at all. But how did you enjoy Blood and Guts?
Blood and Guts was good. I thought it was a great match. I greatly enjoyed. Now, I loved Moxley, Omega, and just their nonsense. I love the brutal
Moxley
violence.
carried the match. Don't at me.
Moxley, I would agree, carry the match. So
here's the take. Give me the Kota Ibushi take. I'm waiting.
He sucks, dude. He sucks. I hate saying it, but it's like
he wrestles Friday too.
Good for him, man. I've seen 2-3 Kota Ibushi matches now, and it's like, man, this guy is. This last match, I guess it's Murder Ibushi or whatever, but it was like he's just sleepwalking over here. I get it's a chaotic match and he's not doing much in it or whatever, but like just walking around the ring, he's not doing much. But
yeah, he was laughed by pretty much everyone in that match.
It was like everyone was great, and then Ibushi was there, and I was like, "Damn, let's bring back Cody Rhodes. Let's get him back into this company."
Let's bring back Cody Rhodes. Let's bring back something.
Yeah, no, but besides Ibushi, which I thought was kind of a letdown, I was really hoping for something, and after 3 matches, I'm gonna watch the GLEAT match, but I don't know.
He's got a lot of people to carry him in that match. It's 10 man.
That is true. Well, he had 10 man here. He was 9. He was the 10th man here.
That's true.
Blood and Guts. Otherwise, I thought the brutal creativity was bar none. I think the best it's ever been, and yeah, that was a great show. That was a really good show. Was the dance battle in that show too? The tag match?
Yeah.
I want to bang my head against the wall when I saw that dance.
The hottest segment of the entire show.
I wanted to bang myself
in person.
It
was the hottest.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were there in person.
Yeah,
God damn,
I was. I lived through the dance battle. I don't know if I said this last week, but when the dance battle happened, I was like, this can't be on TV.
No.
And then I learned that it was, and I was like, holy shit.
And then you got a text message from me like almost immediately saying, I'm fully a Collider now. I'm out.
Yeah. You don't want my takes on Collision and Dynamite. I don't think we want to go that far. But if you do, you can bring me in.
Well, I have thoughts on it because it's like it's very apparent.
A much better show in my mind.
Collision, I've heard it described as like meat and potatoes. It's very much like kind of was what like Dynamite was at the beginning. Now that I think about it, I mean, as many like detractions I've had and made about the show previously, it's kind of just like at this point, like it's wrestling is happening, and Dynamite in a contrasting statement, is trying to get the most pop culture it can be to get the most wrestling fans, and the way to do that, as I think, is to become more like WWE with dance battles,
which is not what you want.
Which is not what I want from AEW. I want to, it feels like Collision.
So you're a Collider with me.
Yeah, it feels like Collision has become the challenge brand, and like Dynamite has become the flagship for Warner Brothers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, CM Punk had a great quote when this was all coming out. It said, "What you're gonna get is some motherfucking professional wrestling."
And
and
I'm
that's
getting it.
exactly
I,
what
w-
we've got.
I watched the last episode. I got like a 4-star match in there. I got a 3 3/4 match in there.
I'm having a great time with
Mm-hmm.
Collision because when you say meat and potatoes, that's pretty much the roster they have at hand,
Yeah.
and they all have something going on.
Yeah, it feels like everyone's and I like also the choice of obviously he's not here right now, but Kevin Kelly and Ian Riccaboni. What I like about them as commentary people is that I think they are very great researchers, and they're
Mhm.
very and their best aspect to them is getting the story across. Excalibur
Yeah,
can do that, but his better thing is calling moves.
sure.
Ian Riccaboni and Kevin Kelly are so much better at like researching and telling you the
Yeah,
story and laying it out during the match in a way that is like laid out with the climaxes of the match.
yeah.
They excel at that. They're so much better at being like the number one guy.
It's just a
Um,
better feel for the show.
yeah, and you want a commentary hot take. I like Excalibur a lot, but like that the something of like laying out the story in a good climatic way
Yeah.
is something JR was kind of better at
Oh,
uh
yeah.
at doing. Now granted he's gotten a lot worse in the past years, but that's something he was always good at is laying out the
Yeah.
sort of story of everything. But that's a take for another day, I guess.
I mean, there's a conversation to be had, and I've had this talk with some people. It's that my preference for commentary is
Yeah.
people like reacting to the move rather than just being like, "Oh, he hit a Canadian destroyer."
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Sure.
cool, sounds good. Like when Eric Cavani loses his mind for something, like
Mhm.
I like that because I feel that, right?
Yes.
You feel it. It brings the moment up a little bit more, and I just think Collision itself has a better feel to it these days as well. But I won't rag on Dynamite too much. I don't think it's gonna get better before All In or All Out all of a sudden. But this week has a nice loaded week, so that's just
Yeah, and then Death Before Dishonor, I thought that was a
yeah.
fantastic show. Like top
Imagine if
down,
they like built to it.
dude, that show. So I looked at the Ring of Honor episode that aired following Death Before Dishonor. Right, it would have
Yeah,
been this past Thursday. They
yeah.
are doing another TV title tournament, which by the way is how they got Dalton Castle to challenge Samoa Joe. So they're doing another one, and you know who is in that tournament?
Yeah, isn't it Gravity?
Gravity is in that tournament and won, and he's continuing on. And then he wrestled Samoa Joe, the ROH TV champion, in a non-title match and lost. What are we?
Handily,
He
by the way.
handily lost in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
This guy is winning in a tournament for a title that Samoa Joe held, and he loses to the champion. Like it's like get out of the tournament. Like you're
I
really,
mean,
what are we doing? Like it's like Ring of Honor television sucks. Like I'm not even watching it. I'm so behind on it, and
yeah,
they're
I gave
doing
up on it.
stuff that like doesn't even make sense in comparison to AEW. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's dark. It's just dark.
It's just become like dark, and
It's
it's
actually worse than dark. Dark used to at least have like cool people pop up on it.
oh my god! Yeah. Did would have come out like last week or something, right? Has Dave like published like the pay per view buy estimates or anything yet? Have we seen
They
that?
said it was quite low on TV, but
Well, yeah.
you have to factor in that Honor Club also added the factor that you can buy it
Plus, it's Honor
now.
Club. They don't announce
Right.
analytics or
So I'm sure
anything.
that's part of the change either way, though it definitely is down from last year.
Well,
There was
Can
exciting.
do you buy it off Honor Club? I thought it was off of Bleacher Report.
You can buy it off Honor Club now.
Okay. Is it after the show or is it during?
Live.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did
I
not
didn't
know
hear
that.
about anyone that did it though,
I
so I don't know
literally
if it
did not know
works.
that. That
Yeah,
is
so now you can buy it
interesting.
on there.
Bringing that up and maybe getting eventually into the all in, all out conversation and pay per views and all that
They
stuff.
just what they try to get
They
the
trademarked AEW Plus, I think.
yeah. So there you go.
I
That's what that'll be.
and then you can have a streamer service like Ring of Honor, Honor Club. Maybe that becomes AEW Plus,
Just
and
combine them all.
you can get Ring of Honor and AEW television, all that stuff. But then you purchase the pay per views through that service. I mean,
That'd be good.
you're keeping all that money. You're not doing any money through Bleacher Report. It's
Right.
you're having your own stream. I mean, I support the writers and actors, but that's exactly what the studios are doing, and that's why we're in the streamer mess that we're in right now. It's making sure that the stuff you're producing is essentially being distributed in house versus going to theaters or going to
Right.
someone else is selling off the whatever
The
to somebody
theaters
else.
thing is so weird that they do that. I did notice that they are changing. Oh, that they've announced all. Well, they haven't announced it, but All In's popping up on Comcast and DirecTV now.
I saw that too. I saw
Thank God.
Thurston tweeted that.
I was like,
Yes.
can we just? I don't want to. I don't use Bleacher Report. I use cable, so I
Oh,
don't want to.
old school man over here, Mr.
Well, you know
Old
why? Because it
School.
means I don't have to stream it and I don't have to fear anything.
That's fair. That's fair. You just have cable making sure the cable works. You don't have to worry about the internet.
Exactly. And at 1:00 Eastern on the 27th, I'd like to just be able to turn it on and not have to worry. But that's me being me. I guess we should talk about the actual All In, huh? Oh, wait. How did you like Death Before Dishonor?
Yes, I like Death Before Dishonor. I thought the main event, Athena and I was going to say Kiera Hogan, Athena and Willow Nightingale. I was thinking of Collider and thinking of Kiera Hogan, how she's not really doing.
They did
anything.
that match like 3 different times, so it would have been that bad.
That was also an Honor Club, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought Athena and Willow Nightingale was fantastic. It is weird.
Devastated when Athena won.
Devastated. Of course, Willow's not going to get the win, and Tony Khan she has to go to some other company run by other people. But I thought that was a fantastic match. I thought it was the well-deserved main event. I thought they both played their roles exceptionally well. I mean, Athena is probably the best women's champion today. I gotta think about that one for a second.
I've went pretty far.
I mean, she's at least top 5 women's champions today. Maybe 3.
I've went as far as calling her the best world champion right now. Though that goes on her booking more than her matches.
And to be fair, her booking is also like she'll have like squash matches on Honor Club.
Yeah, I mean, other than Roman Reigns, who's obviously booked to.
Yeah, sure.
He's been booked to superstardom. I think she's just done such an incredible job of raising up a title that's never really had care before it.
Oh yeah, I mean the title was like the Women of Honor, which was on Kelly Klein, and then it just
forever.
And then it imploded when that whole situation with Ring of Honor fell apart. Then they had
Roxy.
Then eventually it came back to the women's title with Roxy, who then Ring of Honor dissolved, and then she lost it to Deonna on Impact, and she left. Deonna lost it to Mercedes Martinez. And then
Athena got it.
Yeah, and then Mercedes Martinez kind of got injured and really didn't do anything. And then Athena got it and is actually like making it something. The problem is just she's on Honor Club and no one's watching her.
That's
I'm not watching her.
I don't like. Why isn't she on TV? Claudio is.
I mean, she's not in a faction, I guess.
I guess not, but hey, you know, Tony Khan, with all the women's wrestling conversations as of late, maybe you should put your best on there,
dude.
Just an idea.
That I gasped when the Britt Baker Taya Valkyrie match ended on Wednesday, and they cut immediately to a sign dead center in the frame that says "Book." Was it "Book Women's Wrestling Better" or something like that?
Yeah.
I gasped when I saw that. I was like, there's no way they have this match and then cut to that sign and hold on it for so long.
Hold on it for screenshot that real easily.
Yeah. I was like, what are we doing?
I'd like to ask, I would like Maria Kanellis to tell us the truth of how she feels about the women's division in AEW.
Yeah. I mean, she's not in the room. They're hiring producer after producer every single week. She's not in the room. How many female producers are in that room, AEW? I mean, I'm not saying, the women's wrestling is
they have a coach.
They have a coach.
Madison Rayne, baby.
But a coach is, to my understanding, a coach is different than a producer.
Yeah.
Producers, the guys in the
I think.
writings room, like putting the matches
The
together.
coaches were originally producers, and then they just were like, you know what, screw them.
Yeah, it sounds like the coaches are just like helping people train and stuff. Like,
I'd like to think Chris Hero would give a shit about women's wrestling.
I would think so as well. He would. I mean, Chris Hero in there, along with like Kenny Omega, they can really revamp the women's division of Joshi. I mean, Chris Hero's got. Look at these West Coast Pro announcements. They got Joshi wrestlers at the wazoo over here.
When Hikaru Shida is your new women's champion, I think we'll know that they're switching it up.
Plus, you also have like all these Joshi promotions starting like before the end of the year. You're gonna have
did you see the update about that?
Give me that update.
Oh boy, we may have jumped the shark. We're gonna have to wait and see on this one. So Reese Sarah is the latest name to be confirmed for the Joshi promotion, starting up in New York City.
Yes,
they already took a step back though. So remember when I said September? It's now just in the fall. And
all right.
There it is. The strategy is explained as a huge focus on developing short and long form anime content related to the wrestling.
Now, what does that
names and characters will be slightly modified. So I think the idea.
Now, are we talking actual animation being done? In which case, it will take forever to animate.
I was like, oh, this is my thought, right? I was like, anime is a cartoon.
Yeah. Can confirm.
Why do we have real wrestlers?
Yeah.
How is it anime like, are you gonna have animes in between matches and then they wrestle as real people?
Is it like
someone said it could be like Lucha Underground?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is it like highly scripted, like anime trope stuff?
They said the names were gonna have to change. I was like, okay. But like this doesn't feel like a start in the fall situation anymore.
That feels I mean, talking like writer strike, is you're gonna have writers, like it's anime content, you gotta come up with this stuff. Like
but
this sounds like a lot.
As I said, and I'll say this more in the future as more and more comes out, it is either going to be an absolute hit. The anime aspect gets them a nice deal, because the whole clearly they're trying to get on streaming with this anime mindset.
Yeah.
If they get a nice deal, it's a hit, people love it, or it's going to be an absolute flop. There is no in between.
I mean, if it's like proper animation, it's going to take like years to put it together. Like, what are we dealing?
Well, they've already been doing it for years. That's the thing. It's like,
I guess that's true.
Okay, there's no way you had Tomoka Inaba just signed up for years. So
yeah, like maybe they were animating like stuff for a very long time, and now they're just putting the actual likenesses on these people, on these models.
That could be it. That could be it.
Plausible, I guess.
I don't know. But either way, we get it.
With AEW, there's going to be more Joshi talent in the States for either whatever this company is called. What is it? Kitsune is another company that's kind of indie promotion that's starting. Yeah. West Coast has a shit ton. There's a lot of Joshi talent.
There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent.
And if Kenny Omega and the Elite are staying, that between that and Chris Hero, you would think that would be a good voice for women's wrestling.
They aren't staying. There's a bigger problem at hand, and I don't think the women's promotion is going to get top billing.
Did you see that? I wasn't. I'm currently unemployed because of the writer's strike and the actor's strike, which I fully support and everything. But so money is kind of tight around the old Knightsey household right now. But I'm seeing this Duluth show. In between All In and All Out, and you got a double taping of Collision and Dynamite. I'm like, ooh, baby, it's getting saucy. It's getting better.
That's a spicy one right there.
That's a spicy taping right there. And I also saw that. I was like, so what's with Rampage? Are we doing a Rampage that Friday? Is that happening?
Yeah, it's gonna be before the show. They're gonna toss out their Commander versus Kip Sabian again, and you'll just like it. Okay.
They're also doing they're gonna fly to London, England, and then bring everyone back for a Wednesday show.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes off to Chicago. Not even for Saturday. Not even the Saturday before.
No. So Duluth, Georgia is before All In.
Is it before? I thought. Is it the last one? I thought it was in between.
Because that's why they're taping Collision, because Collision's going to be in the United Center the day before All Out.
Yes, you're right. So
That makes more sense.
It's okay. So they can do Collision on Saturday, so they can travel for All In. That makes sense. Well, let's talk about All In, All Out.
Yeah, let's talk about All In, huh? I have a lot to say about.
So we're a month
an
out.
Event that doesn't less than
a little less than a month out at this point. It based on Collision last Saturday, they are finally starting something with the CM Punk promo, which in the way he does it, obviously he puts a spotlight on the fact that no one's talking about this show. I guess I'll talk about it first. But we have that.
Not wrong.
We have the he's on posters and everything, so one presume he's on the show. He's touting around this real world championship and all that stuff. So you got that. You got Jeff Jarrett in London right now, and he's hyping up something. Hyping up a show that doesn't have a card. But that's kind of it. We talked about pay-per-views and AEW Plus and this.
That's All In, baby.
We don't even know what's happening with that. We still have no idea. A little less than a month away. No idea how to even purchase the show. I mean,
well, we do have a rumor for a match.
What's the rumor for the match?
Via Fightful.
Okay.
Which is Will Ospreay's match.
Yes, Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho, which
something.
Didn't get a lot of praise online, but I think the internet's anti-Jericho more so than anything else.
I think they're anti-Jericho, and they got their hopes up about Kenny versus Ospreay 3 on that show, which never was going to happen.
No, and with the Don Callis stuff, it's definitely headed Ospreay versus Jericho. That makes sense. And I'm okay with that.
Takeshita and Kenny, probably.
Takeshita and Kenny could be good. I think
on one of those shows.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. I have to say one of those shows. All right, I'm done. Why did they plan it here? There is an entire year to pick a Sunday. Why did you pick the one before All Out, your biggest pay-per-view of the year, in the United Center, mind you? It's not like they're not going big. They're going even bigger than ever this year. We're not filling the 500 people Sears Center anymore, or whatever it's called. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand what the goal is here anymore. And I know a lot of people going to this show that are not very happy right now. Because they paid for a ticket. They're flying there for the biggest show in AEW history. And Ryan, you know what? I'm willing to say this. It's going to be the biggest show in AEW history for a long time. I don't see them topping it anytime
unless they do Wembley 2 next year and it's even bigger, like a Forbidden Door situation, you know?
That, or they run a U.S. stadium. But I don't think... Based off of how they're booking this show, you're going to need to talk people into a stadium all over again. You need this show to be your best show.
Well, there's something about the ticket sales for all the other TV shows and tapings and whatnot, and how All In is doing. And I really truly feel like tell me who is the biggest money drawing star in AEW right now? And I'll tell you this, Scotty, the answer is a trick question because the answer is the AEW brand, right? The fact that they are going to London, England finally, the fact that it's Wembley, which means to you, this show's a big show, even though there's no card. The brand sold this show. This brand has been selling 70,000 plus tickets. There's no wrestle at this point, even if you put a wrestler on that show, how many more tickets are going to move because of the wrestlers? This is fully on the brand. The wrestlers themselves aren't selling this. It's just the brand. The wrestlers are having trouble at home with the TV tapings. The Elite are running the hottest feud. BCC are doing the hottest feud, and that's doing fairly well. CM Punk comes back. He's nowhere that he used to be, but he's still doing fairly well. Ratings are kind of soft in comparison to how they were.
Collision's doing well.
Collision's doing...
For a Saturday night, Collision's doing well.
Collision's doing well for a Saturday night, but my point there being that Punk is obviously not the huge draw that he was when he first got here, which was kind of expected. But it is this thing of there isn't really a hot money mover other than the brand. And you're right. The only way they can do Wembley, the only way they can do All In 2 is if they somehow. I think the show is going to be great no matter what we're talking about. I think they can put a card together that's going to be beautiful and it's going to be Forbidden Door-esque and be fantastic. Probably show of the year.
Than me.
That's fair. But
just because of those show the week after.
The only way that right now that AEW could do another like high ticket moving thing like this is you're right. If they ran a stadium in the States, if they ran like another country or something, like Australia maybe, they can maybe do something like that. But I don't really have much presence in Australia really compared to like England. If they did stuff like that, then it would like tell the folks at home that like, hey, this is going to be a big show, just like All In. Yeah. But right now it's like, it's having a tough time. No wrestler can take the credit for All In's ticket buying. It's just the brand.
No, Jay White can, but everyone else can.
Well, of course, Jay White will. And he can, and he will. And he will succeed at doing so.
I want his match to be the first announced just because.
Yes.
Just so he could say it. So I don't want to, like, I understand how I'm coming off. Like, people are going to be like, you're hating on AEW. No. I don't hate on AEW. I am very happy that they have packed a freaking stadium. Not only a stadium, Wembley.
Let me see if I can get the WrestleTix last number.
This isn't just a stadium, it's Wembley. Right? Like, WWE won't bring a WrestleMania there. They don't give a shit. They don't care. This is huge. But Ryan, but the people listening at home, you need to make this show feel like the biggest show. CM Punk was absolutely right. He was the first person to acknowledge Wembley in character on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Excalibur and Ian Riccaboni say it every single week. All in at Wembley Stadium. Get your tickets now.
But that's a throwaway. They're just throwing it away.
Maybe I want a show. Yeah. Maybe I won't buy a ticket till I know what the hell I'm seeing. If you ever think about that, yeah, I know there's 77,000 tickets sold. It doesn't really matter. But there's still tickets to be sold. And maybe you get to that sold out number if you give them a reason to go. I just don't know what the plan is. I don't know what the plan is for anything. Obviously, we have started the cookie crumbling of the real world champion versus MJF, right? We've started that cookie crumbling.
Yes. That is very obvious that is either Wembley or All Out.
Yes, but where's All Out?
Wembley?
Nope, that's All In.
I don't know the difference. In Chicago.
Where's All Out?
Chicago, yeah.
Who's the real world champion?
CM Punk, I want to say.
Where are they probably going to put that match?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago.
So,
oof, boo, boo.
What gives? Like, I fear, this is one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is that they're going to have multiple tag team matches on this show to build to the show the week after.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a road to All Out show. And I'm starting to have the feeling.
Do you really think
it's a road to All Out show?
Do you really think that's a good shot? It's gonna be kind of a road to show, not night one, night two.
Which wrestling show? Which of the two shows has a match already? All Out. They have Darby versus the TNT champion.
That is true.
All In has nothing.
So All Out, by the way, right now, United Center, Chicago, Illinois. They've distributed. This is 8 hours ago from WrestleTix. They have this All Out in Chicago. They have sold 8,600 tickets of a setup of 10,500. Last year in the Now Arena, they sold 9,000. So they're 400 tickets away from selling how much they sold last year.
And mind you, United Center is very expensive.
United Center is very expensive, but also they've announced one match so far.
Yeah, book people. Yeah, sure.
To be fair,
they'll beat the number.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the research real quick to see if I can find All In. But yeah, keep going on that rant, sir.
Yeah. I'll keep going. So let's just think about.
It's a huge win this show. This ticket buying,
It
money buying, a
is.
huge win.
It is. But you have to give people a reason to want to see another one. That's the big thing. It's a huge win, but you need to turn a huge win into a long-term gain. This show needs to be the best show you've ever had. It does. Like, that should be your goal mentally. In a 1 month span, they are having All In, All Out, Grand Slam. Why are we doing this? Why is that our plan? I always thought All Out and Grand Slam were too close to each other. Then you add your biggest show ever right ahead of it, and it's just too much. It's too much, and I feel bad for the people that are going to All In. I really do, because they have put the money out. They have put the money out to get there, and they have nothing to look forward to. I've heard things about the card enough to know the card is switched multiple times, I'm sure, by now. And, Bryan Danielson got hurt. That doesn't help. I'm sure he had a very much key match.
And out longer than expected as well.
Much longer. Jamie Hayter as well. That takes another. Jamie Hayter was wrestling Tony Storm.
Jamie Hayter, back issues. Back issues happening in the locker room. Damn.
Like, Jamie Hayter was going to wrestle Tony Storm. That was their goal.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it was just the elbow, but now she's out through the rest of the year. There's no timetable on her return. Okay, I can excuse these two things. Injuries happen.
And who do you think they're building up right now to sort of maybe replace Jamie Hayter? She does she does the Dynamite match this Wednesday.
I think they probably run it back.
Well, I would argue that maybe they're also building up another person.
DMD?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they sure are. Those are your three options right now.
And it's a shame that Jamie Hayter has a back injury again. Back injury that's going to be delivered to, can't wrestle.
This is what happens when you carry the division. You back, everything starts to hurt.
All In, according to WrestleTix, as of July 4th, said tickets distributed, their estimate was at 74,000, pretty much 75,000.
I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I would say that's ginormous.
But here's the thing, right? Like, I'm watching WWE build to a stadium show this coming Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And you have pretty much known where this show is going, what this show is going to be for months now.
Detroit?
Yeah. They've packed the stadium, Ford Field.
Roman versus Uso. I mean, it's happening this Saturday, of course, but I knew that Roman and Uso, Cody versus Brock. And I think what you're sort of alluding to is a bigger issue with the All In show is that, except for the CM Punk stuff this Saturday, you can't even properly point to a match that seems to be happening at one of these at one of these shows.
I have zero clue.
We're like, Sheeta? You and I messages about this. We're like, Sheeta would be a good match. And then it was like, ooh, Dynamite, the 200th episode, Sheeta. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe not that one.
That doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would you just save it?
And then after that, maybe Moxley Orange is an all-in match. Punk, maybe Cole MJF.
Kenny and Takesh just seems like the way to go.
Yeah,
but the Elite weren't even heard from last week.
No, and now they're facing Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, so
they kept the Elite off TV. Also, they ran another freaking Battle Royal on Rampage, but that's a conversation for another day. They have the Blackpool Combat Club right back into action 1 week after the war, right? That they lost.
Mm-hmm. That they lost.
And the Elite's they didn't say a word about the Elite.
Elite took a break.
I was like, did the Elite leave and no one knew?
Dude,
did they just get up and say, see ya?
Scotty, I tweeted this out, X'd it out. I X'd it out a couple, that immediately after Dynamite where they made the announcement for the 200th episode. And I said, no title matches, no Elite, 200 episodes. And I got one match announced. What are we doing?
You got it all eventually.
Remember when the early days of Dynamite where it's here's the whole show for next week. Here are 5 matches right off the bat. And
Do you know what show's doing that now?
Let me know.
Collision.
Yeah, Collision pretty
I
well
know
for the
the
most part they
entire
do it.
lineup for the
What's the lineup
Collision
for this?
show.
What's the lineup for this Saturday?
The real World Championship is on the line between CM Punk and Ricky
It's
Starks.
one match. Give me
Um,
4 more.
FTR versus Big Bill and Brian Cage for the AEW Tag Team titles.
And Big Bill, Brian Cage should totally win that match. I don't care what anyone says; they should win that.
I'm sure there's other stuff, but they're already going to die that they're going to get SummerSlam. This is the first time they're going against the WWE pay-per-view live at
Oh
the same
yeah,
time.
I didn't even think about that. We're gonna real test to see how much of a crossover in the audience there is, and how much of the audience is going to leave and not watch Collision.
I'd guess enough. So
Yeah,
if it wasn't SummerSlam, it'd be a different conversation. But SummerSlam's the second biggest show of the year for them. It's not gonna be good. But you know what?
yeah.
I applaud CM Punk for taking it on the chin in a world title match.
Hey, it's the real world title, baby. But yeah, AEW's in a. It's weird because they're coming up in their biggest financial. They're going to get millions upon millions of dollars for this show, and we know nothing about it. We have no idea how to watch it. We have no idea where to buy it. We have barely any ideas of how what stories are being built for it. There's a show the week after that is seemingly a separate thing. Maybe there's going to be pay-per-view bundles. No one knows. Like, the fact that a lot of this show is shrouded in mystery is incredibly aggravating. I don't the frustration about it, the aggravation of all this shrouded in mystery stuff is that according to AEW and according to Tony Khan and little Mookie Ghana with the little paperboy cap, I love Mookie. They have some stats that say doing last minute builds are a good idea. I as a fan, I mean, I'm gonna watch it anyways, so maybe it doesn't matter. Like, that's the problem. Is like, as I'm a fan of this product for the most part, and I'm gonna watch it anyways. But like, it doesn't serve. I feel like it doesn't serve people like me who want to know and get hyped and excited for this stuff. And I can't get hyped and excited for nothing.
Shouldn't you be trying to talk people into watching it?
Yeah. Like, you should be doing it the
Like,
entire time. Why is the last moment the best
if
option?
there was ever a time that WWE fans would be willing to try an AEW pay-per-view, I feel like it would be a stadium show.
Yeah. Simon Miller's going to be all up and down that show.
It's a shame because, like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I have no idea what these cards are gonna be. I don't even know what I would book. I had an idea and they scrapped it real quick this past week. I said, you have MJF and Adam Cole win the tag titles,
Mm-hmm.
you do the turn at All In, you have him defend at All Out. It was easy. It was an easy path.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're not going down that road at all. And don't get me wrong, I welcome a different road, but I still would have gave him the titles.
And here's the thing, right? So the idea is, the story is that despite losing, MJF is still going to give the title match to Adam Cole. At this point, you can't really do a turn. I mean, you could do a turn, but then you do a turn this week. Yeah, but you do a turn this Wednesday, and then you have 3 weeks to build to the match, which I guess it's possible. I guess it's fully possible, especially for these guys.
What about Punk?
And then Punk's in the background, just like, hey, looky here, I got a little title belt, and I'll be the week after.
Is Punk gonna defend the real world championship against, like, Jay White?
Well,
and then on the other show, it's MJF and Adam Cole?
To be fair, all you really have to do with that is, like, MJF retains the title at Wembley, and then Punk walks out with the other title. And then they hold them both up, and then that's how you sell your next show. That's really all you gotta do. It's not
It's funny, though, that 1 week apart, then you finally get your main event. But it wouldn't be too different from All Out last year, now would it?
Well, that's also weirdly, like, that's the thing always that I don't like about the real, quote unquote, real world title storylines, is that that down the line there's going to be a match between MJF and Punk, and that match is going to be great. So you're kind of just you're like on a wheel, basically,
Yeah.
like knowing that
I don't
like
know why that made me laugh.
yeah,
You know it's gonna be great.
you know it's
but
gonna
we
be
just gotta
great.
we just gotta sit here and sit on our thumbs and wait.
Essentially, it's like we kind of just have to like wait for that match. And Adam Cole and MJF, they've done stuff I've liked, they've done stuff I've hated. But it's
But they're
certainly
the most
over.
overact in the
I was gonna say
company.
it's certainly over, and it's working. And if
They have the highest selling shirt of the year.
you blow that off at Wembley, and then do Punk at Chicago and All In, whatever the fuck it's called, it's gonna work. The whole thing's gonna work. It's just I want to know a little bit. I guess I'm gonna guess on Dynamite we will get the formal announcement, and this is something also that AEW always does, is they always announce the world title match first before they announce anything else. So typically your main event or whatever. So like I'm sure on Wednesday we will get the formal announcement that it's MJF versus Cole at Wembley, and then we'll get some more stuff finally coming through. That's my guess.
That would be fine by me if that was the plan. I would be perfectly okay with that. I just want them to do something.
Yeah, I think the problem.
By the way, Punk's going heel if you couldn't tell by the
promo. Oh, sure. I think the problem with AEW right now is that Tony Khan had too many dinners with Gato in the Build the Forbidden Door, and Gato told him about the New Japan philosophy of, no, you can't announce cards for your next show until you do the first show. So you got to do Blood and Guts, and then you got to do Dynamite 200, and then you can start building the Wembley.
I will say they're definitely waiting on Takeshita to get back from Japan, Eddie Kingston to get back from Japan, but that's only 2 matches. That's not your world title.
No,
that's not your women's title. That's not your tag team titles.
No. I mean, tell me a women's match that's happening on that show. I don't know. Britt, Storm, maybe?
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet money Tony Khan has no idea.
Yeah,
I've pitched, this is like me kind of joking, kind of not, Sheeta versus Saraya.
Dude, it's going to be like a tag match of Saraya and Storm versus Sheeta and Baker. That's what's going to be.
That's probably right.
That's gonna you got to have Paige on the show. Yeah,
and then they're gonna do the fatal 4-way between TBS title that I saw in Collision. What was it? Mercedes, Willow, and Chris
Hogan.
Kiara Hogan lost. I don't think she used to be in it, but
yeah, I don't know. Then who you throw in?
It's the how do we get Willow on this card because we missed the boat on the world title.
Who's the fourth person? Yeah, Session Moth Martina or something? I don't know.
Athena?
Oh yeah, that makes
sense.
I
don't know. Maybe just put Athena on one of these damn shows.
Can we get Mark Haskins on the show? He's a good. No, he's a great wrestler. No, dude. Why not? Why not? He's a great wrestler. I checked several times. He isn't canceled.
I don't want Mark Haskins. They have enough wrestlers.
Yeah, they got to do. Well, that's what they got to do. They got to do the Casino Battle Royale. So Mark Haskins, Simon Miller, they all show up. Grotto or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
All the special Brit Rest guys.
Got to get all the Brit Rest guys that aren't canceled on the
show.
This is
crazy.
It's not gonna. It's not going to take up a lot of time.
Rev Pro,
great promotion.
A main event already set for their show.
That's like a month ago.
Probably anything I'm going to see on the show after. Just going off of the fact that it's Ospreay and Chris Jericho, and I'll tell you right now, Ospreay versus Shingo is better.
The Rev Pro has like their entire card already set up.
Well, they should. They're an indie.
Of course. But the sheer idea that they've had their entire card like built for like a week and a half and the main event announced for like 2 months. It's just like it just makes AEW, at least for us nerds, like, come on guys, should never get off the pot. Come on, let's do something.
Where's Roosh?
Oh, he just
back on TV.
I
watched him sign a deal. Bring my boy back.
I think he's coming back soon.
He should murder Orange Cassidy.
He's probably a collider. That's
live and all in. Murder Orange Cassidy in broad daylight.
I mean, all in or all out, if I were to guess, is probably going to be.
There's the problem. You just said the problem. Or all out.
Yeah,
there's your all in problem.
It's probably going to be Trios title match, House of Black versus Roosh, Andrade, and Realistico or something like that.
As long as it's not Preston Vance.
God, get him out. Get him off my screen, my guy.
Turn like Commander heel and put him with them.
God, Commander heel, that'd be wild. Well, yeah, let's talk about.
Well, no, they're baby faces. You just put them with them. Well, Andrade's a baby face. Roosh is just Roosh.
Yeah, Roosh is just Roosh energy. You know, he can get away with whatever.
Andrade's definitely a baby face, though. He looks completely different this week. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
I love the singlet look. I love the
I did
singlet
too.
strap look. It makes him look bigger for some reason, despite already being massive.
Yeah. He's very athletic again, which is nice.
I agree. Let's talk about another big show that's happening this weekend that has a full card. Well, not a full card because there are some mystery opponents, I guess. But SummerSlam, we already talked about it. It's a big show happening.
You should have said it. You should have said it. Let's talk about a real show.
Talk about the real world show. SummerSlam happening in Detroit, Michigan this Saturday at a Ford Field.
Slim Jim Battle Royal, baby. Let's go.
They got a big time show for us today. A lot of matches, a lot of big time matches. This show feels well built. This show feels well built. I mean, it feels like a lot of stuff they've been building for months. Let's get to it. I mean,
what an idea.
I hate to say, whether or not the stories are good is your own personal opinion, but the show feels built. It feels well built. He's thinking.
2 stories are well built.
Yeah. I mean, that's the WWE thing.
And
but
the rest is like, there's a cool match.
But I can tell. But here's the thing: I can tell you everything that's kind of happened with these things for the past several months, leading up to this stuff, versus 4 weeks.
And see, okay, so I'm not saying I want AEW to switch to this. I do not want this to happen.
Of course,
but WWE shows Raw, SmackDown. Shut up, Siri. Raw, SmackDown.
The third member of Ring Post Radio has arrived.
They are used to build 2 pay-per-views.
Yes.
That is the entire vehicle.
And they nail it over the head.
Yes, they nail it over the head, but you know.
Yeah.
And you look forward to the shows if you're a WWE fan.
What did this show become? I leave for 1 week, and now we're a pro WB podcast? Is that's what's happening over here?
No, I just want All In to have a match. I just want to see a match graphic.
That's fair. That is fair. Let's talk about SummerSlam. So, of course, your main event, Trial Combat match, which we of course understand.
Tribal Combat. Woo. I don't know what that means.
No idea what that means. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, the WWE title, the Universal title. That's what's listed here on Cage Match, but I think that it's the WWE Universal title or something. Don't remember. World Heavyweight. I don't even remember what it's called anymore. But yeah, Roman versus Jey Uso. This feels like the blow off of the bloodline for months, for years.
Oh, do you want to know what Tribal Combat is?
I would love to know what that means.
Per WWE?
Sure.
Per Tribal Combat, where anything goes, and but
great copywriting.
But no one can interfere until Jey and Roman's match is over. No DQ, no countout. The only way to win is pinfall or submission.
So it's basically an anything goes match with zero interference.
Until there's interference, yes.
At the end, after the bell has rung, which is not a match.
It's a Roman Reigns match. There has to be interference.
You would think, but that tells me that Tribal Combat, they're going to no Jimmy, no Solo.
Sure feels like we're crowning main event Jey Uso then, baby.
You think we're taking the title off of Roman Reigns here?
There was a report today that Roman Reigns is not what's the thing?
I don't know. You're waving your hand like you're
scheduled, or he's not promoted for Payback, whatever the hell's after Payback, and Survivor Series.
Interesting.
But Jey Uso is.
That could say something, but it's also Roman who's on a lighter schedule, so it could be nothing. Like, you could just be, I'm done, and we have to build up new people.
Just 3 pay-per-views.
I know, it's 3 pay-per-views, and one of them is Survivor Series.
And Seth still doesn't main event?
But it does mean something. It could mean something. It also could mean something. It's Roman. If it wasn't Roman, I would have said that's interesting. But the fact that it's Roman and it's his schedule sort of thing, you never know. You never know if this guy.
Respect main event Jey Uso.
Yeah, I mean Roman Reigns. I fully don't believe Roman's losing the title here. I mean,
not a shot.
I really don't think so. Jey Uso. I think this match would be good. I think the crowd's gonna be super into it, man. I mean, this is gonna be the hottest match in WWE in like a decade. Maybe not a decade.
Cody and Roman was pretty hot,
and this is gonna be hotter because the crowd's gonna be super into this already. I mean, you saw that.
If it's hotter than that, that'll be incredible.
You saw that 40-minute segment, that trial of Roman Reigns, that popped that number. You saw what that was.
Over 3 milli, baby.
This show is gonna do massive numbers in a failing streamer.
To be fair, any streamer is a failing streamer.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about streamers nowadays. That's a whole nother podcast.
WWE doesn't give a shit. They got paid their money.
No, they got their bag. They got their freaking bag. That's $6 billion of loss.
They're
on
probably
Peacock.
The only thing that gives Peacock life these days.
Dude, I mean, what Peacock show is on right now? Are you watching any shows on Peacock right now?
Yeah, I watch The Office.
Which they have to pay for the licensing. No, that's their own product. What am I saying? I was watching, but that show came out years ago at this point, or months ago, or whatever. God, I'm
going to watch the Cody Rhodes documentary.
Do you think people are watching Twisted Metal? Do you know anyone watching Twisted Metal?
No.
Yeah, don't know anybody.
I might watch it. Samoa Joe's in it.
I'm looking at the names on here. It's like I don't watch any of this product. I mean, that's the thing about Peacock is that like I'm not a guy that
Peacocker.
I'm not a peacocker. I'm not a guy that rewatches TV shows. I don't I'm not a guy that can rewatch The Office. Like once I watch something, I watch it and then that's it. Like same thing in movies. It's like I don't really rewatch things. I just watch it once. I'm like, say great, and then I move on to the next thing. So I'm not going to rewatch The Office. I'm not going
to get back to Peacock.
No, I don't want
to get Peacock. What the hell is this?
SummerSlam. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. The crowd's going to be super into this. Whether or not I'm super into it is its own thing. It's going to be.
You want to hear my bold statement?
This match is going to be filled with drama. Big capital D drama. Yes, give me your bold statement.
This will be Roman Reigns' best match since
Cody.
Well, yeah.
Probably
fair.
Cody.
Probably easily Cody.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I think my fear with this match is
I love the Roman Jey Uso matches.
I think the Cody match is a lot more wrestling. My fear of this match is going to have so much drama and very little wrestling. Like it's anything goes. You would think, my fear of this match is, and I think it's a totally valid fear, is that a match like this should totally be guys whipping each other with chairs and belts and taking a fucking one of the little scab things or what are the puka shell things off the tribal chief necklace and like stabbing it in Jey Uso's eye or whatever. It should be full of that stuff.
Yeah.
It should be blood and all this other stuff. And my fear is that it's going to be like 20 minutes of talking. And it's like, God damn it. I don't like this.
If they talked while they were stabbing someone, I'd be fine.
I agree. I can get away with that. I can totally get away with that. Like, you want to see the cathartic beating each other up. You don't want to see promos. This is the match where you don't get the promos. You have to have people beating us up. The catharticness, nature of it all.
You want it to feel personal.
Yes.
This match should be uncomfortable.
Yes, it has to be. And my fear is it's going to be so much talking. Just like that Hell in a Cell match, remember? From like 2020 or whatever?
That was like one of the only good talking matches, and he just fucking talked forever. And then I was like, all right.
And that match still had a lot of like violent stuff.
It started to feel uncomfortable because he like killed both Usos.
And then he slowed it down to talking. It's like, no, man. Kill him.
Well, that's gonna happen. Just don't do it too much. And I will say this show does give something to every wrestling fan.
Sure. I mean, this next match should be wrought with wrestling. WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. I mean, this should be an
They better
NXT
make up for
classic.
that flop that was the pay-per-view last month.
This
So
should
they've
be.
built this up very well.
Mm-hmm.
Judgment Day has everything except for Finn Balor.
Yeah. Do you think Finn Balor's winning in here?
I think
There's a chance. I think there's a chance.
I think they probably should.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether I like the Judgment Day stuff or not, it's working.
Yeah. I hate
our
preview. I hate our previews are like, it's working, so shrugging shoulders.
Well, this is how Dave talks pretty much.
That's
He's like,
true.
well, it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say give it to him, and then you could tease Priest cashing in on him.
That would be interesting.
And I mean, Rhea doesn't have a match yet, but I'm sure she's facing Raquel Gonzalez and gonna kill her. So
yeah. I love that Rhea's just not doing anything. I mean,
Rhea's, it's so funny because she's probably like the most over person on Raw, not just in the group, but on Raw, and she never has a match.
Never does not doing anything. It's the Roman.
I watched her versus Lyra Valkyria
on NXT
from NXT. Pretty good. I was like, wow, this is what happens when I get to watch Rhea Ripley wrestle someone that isn't Natalia.
They're Romanizing her. You know what I mean? Like just having her around and not wrestling, and
they're talking a lot.
Yeah, they're Romanizing.
Being a draw. It's working.
It's working. TikTok's got some mobile users. You know, they're mobilizing them.
Man, it terrifies me how popular she is out of wrestling.
Yeah, she's huge.
That's another conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
good for her though.
I think Finn Balor winning can add a very interesting dynamic within the Judgment Day. Even if he loses, I think there could be something still there, and I would like to see Seth Rollins versus more people. But I mean, we talked about Seth Rollins previously that like he doesn't really have like a lot of heels to go up against him. So having Finn Balor win and having like faces go up against Finn Balor could be very interesting. And then you got Damian Priest in the background. Like the whole thing could be very interesting.
Yeah.
However, I don't think they're going to blow up Judgment Day this soon. So I don't think Seth Rollins is losing here. I don't think Finn Balor is winning the title just so you can tease Damian Priest, you know? Like I don't, maybe you want to do that, but I don't, especially if we're blowing up Bloodline, I think you want to hold on to Judgment Day just a little bit longer, but we'll see, I guess. Moving on.
I have nothing else to say.
Moving on, Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. You have to think Cody is getting the win here.
Guessing they're adding a stip tonight, probably.
Yeah, currently just a singles match. They added a stip. It will probably be like strap match, maybe. Did they do that?
Did they do that?
What was the last? Didn't the last match have a stipulation? Am I rethinking things?
I don't remember.
Strap match makes the most sense. Or
they were both singles matches. They were both just regular.
They're going to do a strap match, or they're going to do something crazy like a dog collar match here.
I know Cody just wants to bleed. You know he does so bad.
That's the thing. If you can't get him to bleed, then you do a strap match where you can do Cody Rhodes getting whipped by giant Brock Lesnar. You know?
Like Wardlow or whoever in MJF when they killed him.
Who?
With straps.
Who?
I'm trying to remember. You know what? This match. I hope this match is good because I haven't loved the first two because they were weird.
Yeah, they were always like weird things. This match needs to be a great blow off. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, is Cody not winning here? I mean,
he has to. No, he's winning.
You would think, right? But it is Brock, right? It is Brock.
He's winning. And
Brock could win and go off and face Seth Rollins?
Brock could do it without winning.
That's also true. It's WWE. It doesn't necessarily matter.
He doesn't need to win. I think Cody wins, and they probably keep pushing off him going for a title again and again and again.
And then he wins the Royal Rumble again? Or no, he'll probably win the chamber match or whatever. Yeah. That'll probably be what Cody does. And he comes in at number 1 at the chamber, and he lasts the entire time. It's like an hour long.
That's what we thought last time with the Rumble, and then they came in 30. So
that is true. That is true. I guess you could do that with the Rumble and have him come in at
Love
number
this
1.
company.
All this company. SmackDown. Or no, sorry, not the SmackDown. The WWE Women's title match here.
Io
Asuka.
Shirai.
No, Asuka defending her title
Io
against
Shirai wins.
Impossible. Asuka defends her title against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. And your decision is Io Sky what? Cashing in and winning?
Cashing in and winning the title. She ends the night as champion.
Is that a dream or is that your prediction?
That is my prediction.
And also a dream.
Well, yes, that too. But the money,
I know you.
They've held the Money in the Bank long enough. She's held the Money in the Bank long enough that they're itching at the bit.
Sure.
1 year later, after she came back at SummerSlam, there you go.
You say this.
Yep.
But like
I said what I said. I believe it. You're not taking me off. You're not taking me off the mountain.
Well, I mean, there's like more than a 50% chance that Charlotte Flair wins the title, right?
And then she gets cashed in on because that will be 15 and we can call it a day.
That is great.
That's how it goes, baby.
That's a great point. You have Charlotte Flair win and Io Sky cash in. You got a hot baby face against Charlotte Flair that no one really likes. That's an idea. I don't think that's a bad one. Pop the crowd. We got a lot of baby face wins over here. You got.
Well, we're about to end that in like 2 seconds. Just
that's fair. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title. I mean, Gunther is going to...
We got match of the night locked in.
I mean, match of the night probably locked in. I think Brock says Cody could do numbers, to do stars.
And work Ray Paul.
And work Ray Paul, of course. We'll get to him. But I mean, this match, I fully don't believe Drew McIntyre is winning this. I think Gunther is going to break the Honky Tonk Man record. I think as it would make sense. But Drew McIntyre coming back and maybe winning after kind of a weird contract dispute potentially, it's not out of the question.
Yeah, it's not out of the question. Holy shit. SummerSlam sold a lot of tickets.
How many did they sell?
They're at 46,000 out of 47.
Huh? 46,000. That's almost half of Wembley.
It's over half. It's a red hot product, folks. It's a red hot product. Gunther wins, match of the night. Yada yada yada. They just chop each other to oblivion, hit each other hard a few times. I have a great time. It sounds like a win.
It does sound like a win, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This match should slap. Quite literally, it should slap. Anyway,
should chop?
No, get out of here. Ricochet versus Logan Paul. I mean,
greatness, baby.
I mean, this match be great. I mean, talk to me.
This is the Ryan Knightsy special of the night.
I mean, well, no, Gunther and Drew
Logan
McIntyre.
Paul is your favorite WWE wrestler. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not going to say
you see Logan Paul in a match, you say that's probably the match of the night.
That's probably the match of the night, yeah, for sure. I mean, versus Ricochet, man. This match is gonna be good.
Logan Paul wins.
Of course. There's no fucking way Ricochet's winning.
Has he ever won?
Logan Paul or Ricochet?
Yeah, he beat the Miz. He beat the Miz once.
Yeah, Logan Paul's won.
I know Ricochet though.
Logan Paul, I think,
hasn't won in a long time.
Has Logan Paul ever lost? I guess the Money in Bank ladder.
He lost to Seth.
He lost to Seth.
He lost to Roman.
God, he has lost a lot.
Remember that match with Roman? That was great.
Yeah, he did. Oh my God,
that was a real.
Logan Paul's just too good. It's like fuck. I hate. We say it every time. I hate that this guy's so good at this, but he is. Yeah. He's so good. At
WWE doesn't.
I don't have any other thoughts about this match. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. Presumably the last Ronda Rousey match, right? I mean, this is potentially her last match in WWE ever.
Darn. Nah. They're gonna sing that, aren't they? Are they gonna sing it? That'd be pretty awesome if they sang it.
That'd be hardcore, Detroit.
That would maybe put Shayna against Rhea for a little program.
It would be impressive.
Becky over?
Have Shayna win and then do Shayna versus Rhea Ripley. That would make sense.
And then hold Becky till Survivor Series or something.
I mean, they might hold Becky till the Rumble and then WrestleMania.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, because you do Shayna and Rhea to build to whatever the next other stuff. Maybe you could build the Survivor Series. I don't know.
I
Maybe.
mean, I'm just trying to give Rhea something.
I'm just trying. I'm just trying to give her something. My
I
God.
know she's gonna crush Raquel Gonzalez on this show, but
I was going to say I don't even know if that match is going to happen. I mean, we already have like 8 matches here.
there's probably a match going to be announced tonight, and then Becky and Trish is going to happen.
Oh yeah, we might have 11 matches.
At least we got our stinker of the night.
11 matches. Jesus, Jesus.
I'm sure the Battle Royal won't be on TV.
Oh well, I mean, you maybe want to save the pop. You got the.
Let me talk to you.
You got the summer.
LA Knight loses.
Oh God, SummerSlam Battle Royal. All you got announced so far is Sheamus and LA Knight.
Can someone tell me why he's so popular? Don't get me wrong, I love the
You and I,
LA Knight. Yeah,
you and I have been loving LA Knight. Loving,
I love the
loving the
promos,
yeah. We
but,
love
like,
the yeah.
is that really it? Like, is that how he's over?
Yeah.
Just because he does good promo?
Because
Like,
people
he
like
just
The
doesn't-
Rock, dude. That's all it is. Is people like The Rock.
A good reason.
He's doing The Rock. Well, it is. It works.
LA Knight. Yeah.
That's all it does. Like it worked. It worked on the
Yeah.
Indies. It worked in TNA until it didn't. It worked in the Indies until it didn't. Like,
You know what's the most important part about the show?
what's that?
They didn't put Austin Theory on it because they know no one gives a shit about their failed experiment. That is
Austin Theory's a fucking. I mean, well, part of it, I guess, is like Triple H is in charge, but also it's Vince still in charge.
Has there ever been a bigger failed experiment?
Than Austin Theory?
They gave Cena. He beat Cena at WrestleMania, and he's gotten worse.
He's done nothing since then. Who is he feuding with right now? Tell me, who do you think Austin Theory is feuding with right now?
I don't know who he's feuding with, but I know he's defending against Santos Escobar.
Oh yeah, I guess that match could be happening here, right?
No, it's announced for SmackDown on August 11th. They didn't want to put Theory on this show.
Oh,
Triple H might be the right booker.
Jesus Christ, man!
That's SummerSlam, baby.
Yeah, he's doing nothing.
Should be a fun, loud show.
Yeah, the crowd's gonna be super into everything that's happening. I mean, quite honestly, we're dogging on WWE and all that stuff, but I want to give some respects to it. I'm not a huge fan of WWE, but I think the show has been well booked, well put together.
The atmosphere their shows have.
Yeah, it's going to be in a huge arena, and the crowd's going to be super into the show nonstop. And it's getting people into wrestling and conversations of boom period nonsense. It's like
that's wild.
Like WB is like working right now. It's the stuff they're doing is working. You can't say it isn't. I may be like the least interested in WWE that I've ever been, but I at least know more about what's happening. That's something. I guess I'm somewhat interested.
I can tell you right now, it is not the least I've ever been interested in.
That's fair. That's fair. This is our longest probably WWE segment to date for Ring Post Radio.
Yeah, we were pretty nice about it.
Yeah, we had a lot
and I watched NXT. Gable Steveson sucks. So they better hope they have good people coming up elsewhere. Because he's bad.
Dude, I could have told you that. I heard his first match ends in a double countout. They couldn't decide.
Well, no, but I mean, like, I saw him throw some German suplexes a few weeks ago, and those look good. But, thank God they have Braun Breaker and Mello, I guess, and
the Creeds. Yeah,
the Creeds are nice. I like the Creeds.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where they went.
I don't know. Well, they'll face Tony.
That's all your NXT talk for today.
Face Tony D'Angelo or whatever.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
What do you want to talk about? Noah, G1 Climax, or 5-star? 5-star.
Let's end with the G1 because I've been pretty negative for way too long.
Well, let's talk about 5-star because that's not really a negative thing that we can talk about. Because you talked about night 1 and the bajillion matches that happened last week. I watched night 2, which only had 3 matches.
I hear you have to say something about someone.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I'm finally took me a bit. Fine, and maybe it's a match against Julia. That'll certainly do it. You
I'll
know,
do it.
maybe it's Mariah May, and I'm enjoying Mariah May, but I'm finally starting to get into Saori Anou. Took me a bit, but I'm finally getting into her.
Was it the blood? It was
It,
the blood.
it was the blood, and then it was
Psycho. She's kind of psycho.
yeah, it was the blood, and then whatever. Like her she was like sitting on top of Julia and doing like a finisher, like she's pulling her
Oh
legs
yeah.
back or something. And
Yeah.
her face, like her hair is crazy, and her face is like, she almost looks like she's almost doing like the Yuji Nagata look, without accident. And I was like, there we go. That's that I can connect with that.
Now you're in on Saori.
I'm not gonna say I'm fully in, but I'm definitely way more than I was.
You're in. You're in.
I'm fully in apparently.
You're in.
First night was pretty good at the beginning, and then great near the end. Night 2, I thought was pretty good. Mina and Mirai was you can probably not be surprised, the best match.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Julia and Hanan was actually I thought it was good. I thought it was a good match. I mean, it's Julia versus Hanan, so
Julia's good against rookies.
yeah, and it's Julia at the end of the day, and I like her, and she's doing good.
Julia is on a roll. She's on a roll.
But the biggest news, obviously, from all of this is I'm sure you guys talked about this last week with Saya Kamatani getting injured and her match last week ending in referee stoppage. And then it was reported this past week, that, well, she's gone. She's out. She has what? I believe it was a dislocated elbow and something else.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
she is fully injured and fully out of the tournament. No one is replacing her. Anyone
not Teklin like I pitched.
Yeah, or anyone else. No one is replacing her. She's fully out. Any matches she had, those people automatically get 2 points. So it's in some ways it's good in that sense that it happened the first match, and she lost that. So there's some ways that's great, I guess. But in other ways, you have Sai Kamatani, someone that had a good chance of winning. And honestly, not even honestly, there were reports, according to Dave Meltzer from Wrestling Observer, that she was winning this whole thing. That they reported that she was gonna win this whole thing, and presumably beating Tam Nakano was gonna be sort of the tipping off point on the main event of night 1. But she's out, she's injured, she's gone from the tournament. Maybe she'll show up later in the tour and she heals. Probably not. She's gone. Thoughts on Saya Kamatani out of 5-star and your probable winner out of 5-star? What do you do from that?
Well, your probable winner from 2 years ago was Julia, and Shuri went on to win and then hold the world title for a year. I think maybe you just say things to throw off the scent. Maybe you don't. Just say it. But Julia was reported to be the winner 2 years ago, and she didn't. She went on to win last year, of course.
Yep.
So now you readjust. You work to something else. You have plenty of options. That's the one thing Stardom has.
Yeah.
It's not like they're in a situation with like Sonata, right? Where it's like only like 2 matches make sense.
Yeah.
You can just put anyone against Tam, and it'll probably make sense. Like Utami, Julia, Mina Shirakawa. Those are the names I keep tossing out there right now.
Yep.
I think if they switch to Mina, it would be a brilliant move. But I don't think they will, just because of the story from earlier in the year and pay that off at the end of the year. They have a lot to move. They have a lot to move around, no matter what, because now Suzu's left without a match on the final night. Do you send her to the final? Do you eliminate her before? That's the tough decision you have to make. It sucks because Sai and Suzu was that big highlight match of that last night, besides Julia and Utami.
And you would
So we'll have to wait and see.
If you think Saya was winning, that match was going to be probably deciding for the whole tournament.
Yep. So now we have to await whatever they plan on. I think there's always been enough plans. I'm just interested to see how we get there. Obviously, there'll be a lot of good matches along the way. Obviously, last night will be great. They'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I just do wonder who they go with. Thankfully for them, like I said, a lot of options, and I hope Saya takes all the time she needs. She doesn't need to be back next month. She doesn't need to be back the month after that. Get if her return match was at the year end show, I think that would be fine.
Yeah.
I think she could take all the time off. No need to rush back for tag league or anything.
No, you already have. I mean, even then, even for rushing back for tag league, I mean, you already saying that she's gone for the entire tour and that her, she's just forfeiting all her matches. That's all the way up to September. That's
Yeah.
like mid, late September, whatever it is. Um, just heal. Don't even come back. Don't even bother. You just be gone for 2 months. Just call it.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be fresh when you come back.
Yeah, just do that.
Julia got hurt and she came back another level. Now,
Hmm.
Saya, you can go do the same.
Yeah, I mean, it
I mean,
could be
she already
good.
had a record title reign, but you can go and do the same.
I'm sure. I'm sure she will.
And now,
Um,
does Tam Nakano successfully defend? That's always a possibility. You could build up Saya for that, whatever the major event is next year, because we don't have an annual one yet. Name wise, we just know it's in either March or April. But we move.
So talk to me. I want to relook now that Saya's gone, and we're just going to go with the. We're just going to go with the presumption that whether or not it's accurate or not. We'll just go with the
We'll
presumption
just
that
assume she was at least winning her block, which I thought she was anyway.
yeah. Let's just go off that presumption. Talk to me about the final night for what block is she in? Red block.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the final night, September 30th of the red block. Now that Saya's gone, what are the other matches?
So you got Mayu and Starlight Kid, you got Shuri and Ami Saray, Tam Nakano and Natsupoi, and then Hazuki and Natsuko Tora. So
With Suzuki earning 2 points automatically.
right, Suzuki already has 2 points. Last time this happened, Momo actually just went to the final.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 years ago as well. So Suzu could obviously do that.
Little
But I do think
anticlimactic,
that
but
yeah, that's the unfortunate part. But you have multiple routes here.
mm-hmm.
You could always send Mayu, especially if she were to lose the IWGP Women's title.
Mm-hmm.
You could always send her because her and Tam Nakano is a big match.
Yep.
It'll happen in the tournament, but so was Saya and Tam, so that doesn't matter. You could send Shuri.
Yep.
If Utami were to be winning this tournament.
Always easy.
What's the one situation they've never wrestled in? A 5-star Grand Prix final.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could send Hazuki if she were to be losing to the Blue Stars block person.
Yeah.
Whoever that may be. Natsupoi, I doubt. Mostly because she's wrestling Tam on the final night. So
yeah,
I think that kind of just takes her out even if she beats Tam.
I think Hazuki and Tora is definitely out. I mean, unless
unless Hazuki's like the fill-in, like, oh, we just need someone to beat.
Yeah,
That's why, because like Shuri and Ami Saray originally was like, all right, that'll be like whatever. But now Shuri's a safe option to put in that final because she's Shuri, and then she could lose to a Julia or Utami or someone of those sorts.
Or, of course, like you said, you do the easiest option, which is whoever was going to be second place, which might not necessarily be Suzuki. It could be somebody else at this point,
right?
But she's only get 2 points the very last night, presuming she would have not gotten those 2 points.
She's 0-2 so far. Nope.
0-3.
Yes.
Not a great start, but we have plenty of time. So
no, sorry, 0-2.
She's lost to Natsupoi and
Shuri.
So you would think that, she was not going to get these points before. She's now probably going to get an additional 2 points. It might put her over because she was probably going to be close and they were going to be battling. So she might get put over and go into the finals just on that alone. How do they want to change the entire booking on the fly? Probably not. That's the same reason they did with Momo last year. So you're looking at Suzu maybe versus the winner of the Blue Stars block. I mean, even if it's
that's probably your most likely option.
You and I talked about it like when we previewed the 5-star. Utami versus Saya Kamatani could have been very interesting. However, if it's Saya, that would have been a very interesting final. However, that's also it's a very cool final, but it's also like Maybe. You would think that it wouldn't be Utami, it might be somebody else. Maybe like a Julia. I don't know.
Or Micah.
Or Micah, you would think. Being Mirai, that would be huge. Um, but now, I mean, if it is maybe Utami, you still have something of Utami versus Suzu Suzuki. Like you still have that is still something that could be still very much interesting.
Huge first time match. Utami beats Julia or draws with Julia early in the night. I'll say this: they're not stuck. Like
No.
they're not doomed or anything. They have so many options that I think everyone will accept. Like, oh, that was the right choice by the end of this.
Hmm.
I will keep pitching either a Mina or if they wanted to just go back to Julia, the Julia match. Like, because I think going back to Julia wouldn't shock any.
Yeah.
But do they want to give up the 2-time 5-star winner? That's part of the conversation.
Yeah, that's a tough. It just makes everything more interesting, and they could just go straight into Suzuki, but it is this thing of if Saya Kamatani was winning, you now have to decide on someone else to be your main event. I mean, do you even? I know you were pushing hard for Utami Hayashishita. Would you have been fully satisfied as a Stardom fan with Tam Nakano versus? Assuming Megan Bain doesn't win, of course. Tam Nakano versus Sai Kamatani for the end of the year.
Yeah, because I think they would have the story they were going for, and I convinced myself that Sai had a real chance. If you read my preview, you can literally see me convince myself midway through. Because she was talking about how she wanted to be the unwavering ace of Stardom, but right before this, I think it would have worked because that is a big match.
She wavered a little bit. She wavered a little
bit.
bit.
She wavered a little bit. But she's talked a little bit about how she wants to be that, and her and Tam obviously have the history. They have the matches. They could easily run it back, and it would have done great. But now you can hold that. You can hold Saya. If she were going to win, you can hold that crowning moment till another time down the road. If she was going to lose, then you don't really miss much. Obviously, I don't think she would have lost just because I don't want Tam champion that long. But we'll have to wait and see ultimately, but it would have been fine. Now they're gonna have to book another big match, and they have plenty in their arsenal. And I still am holding out hope that Mercedes Monet is around at the end of the year for Stardom and Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point too. Is that with Mercedes Monet around, you would think that maybe Julia's off the block. She's out of contention because maybe that match is happening at the end of the year.
Hold it, yeah.
So
I don't know if they'll be able to hold it, but if they can hold it, then they will.
Yeah, well, I mean, December will certainly be enough time, I would think, for Mercedes. I would hope for Mercedes.
I think Mercedes is back. I think we get a video or something at All Star Junior Festival. So
I agree. Yeah, no, I greatly feel for Saya Kamatani. That looked like a nasty fall that she took on night one, and here's hoping that she becomes unwavering once again, and she'll heal up properly and come back even stronger, better than ever.
Just win it next year. It's fine. Just pencil her in now.
Exactly. So, I mean, maybe it's a gruesome idea or anything, but besides Julia and Saya, is there any other history of injuries in 5 stars?
There's injuries, but I don't know if that crucial.
Nothing that took people out of tournaments.
Utami got taken out once
in
her second 5-star, but she wasn't gonna win.
Sure.
I don't think there's no one I could think of off the top of my head that was winning that got hurt. Besides those two, just bad luck ultimately.
Yeah.
And thankfully this screwed up, I guess. But thankfully, Saya's was more of just a one-off type. Like Julia's was we're just gonna have to wait and see if she'll be able to come back.
Yeah,
it was really bad. It was her neck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so. Julia's doing great. I'm loving Julia. She's so good.
That's the funny thing. It's Julia's fine now.
Yeah, she's completely fine. She's better than ever, I would say. Well, speaking of tournaments happening in Japan during the summer, we got our second topic of today. Noah, Pro Wrestling Noah, everyone's favorite, coldest promotion in Japan. Pro Wrestling Noah is happening. Their debut tournament, N1, is happening this Saturday. They have a Friday Rambo Rumble N1 Rumble, which I don't really know anything about that or what it pertains to the N1 in any capacity, but they're doing the proper tournament starting this Saturday out of the Yokohama Budokan. And then they have their next 3 nights after that out of the Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. They'll be off for a week for some other random ass shows, and then they'll be back going full force to the end of it.
Wait, they're holding normal shows?
Yes.
In the middle?
They kind of have like a week off, and then I think they have 2 normal shows that I think is mainly done by juniors. And then they'll be back with the rest of the tour following that.
Who wants to tell them they don't have the size to do that? Well, their junior division smells.
I agree. I did think, I don't know if it was the main event specific order, but there was one of the shows that looked like it was main evented by I want to say not Ninja Mac, Dante Leon versus Stallion Rogers. I want to say that was one of the main events maybe of one of those shows, and I was like, nope, that's not gonna, no guys, sorry. But maybe, I don't know if it was the match order, so who the heck knows. Well, let's talk about the N1. That's happening this Saturday. Of course, we got some A block and B block action.
The worst opening night of a tournament I've ever seen, and I watched the New Japan opening night this year.
Yeah, so this is, I don't know exactly, again, I don't know if this is the match order, but going from the top of the card to the bottom of the card, or the main event to all the way up to the, you know what I mean. So you got main event, presumably, A block, Jake Lee versus Timothy Thatcher. Semi-main, B block, Go Shiozaki versus Saxon Huxley.
Jesus Christ.
Get into it. Then you got Amy block back and forth. You got Kano versus Adam Brooks. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. That should be good. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Daiki Inaba. That should be good because Dr. Wagner Jr. rules. There's a 6-man tag. Here's about that. A block, Masaki Amiya versus Yuki Yoshioka.
That should be good.
B block, Lance on Y versus Yuma on Zai. That's a what the what? That's a what the what match.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Is Yuma on Zai still injured?
No, he's fine.
He's fully fine now?
I watched him get thrown through a mat the other day by Suwama. He's fine.
Great, perfect. Jack Morris versus Yoshihiko Inamura.
Well, that might be okay. I'm in.
Yeah. Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Manabu Soya.
All right,
that's interesting. And then yeah, that's your opening show. That's your opening night 1 happening this Saturday. A block, Jake Lee, Thatcher.
Definitely a night.
Yeah, Lee, Thatcher, Kano, Brooks, Inamura, Morris, Kitamiya, Yoshioka. B block, Shiozaki, Huxley, and Naba, Dr. Wagner Jr., NOI, Anzai, Soya Nakajima. Again, this is Yokohama Budokan, and they'll have 3 nights following that in Korakuen Hall. Finals of the show is going to occur Sunday, September 3rd at the Edion Arena in Osaka. That show, by the way, also has Masakatsu Funaki taking on Josh Barnett in a GHC martial arts rules match. That's the finals. Who wins? I don't know. I'm thinking
Kano.
I think Kano is the front runner here.
For my sanity, I hope he is.
I think you're breaking up Kongo. I think you want to separate Kano and make him a legitimate thing. You know, maybe you do that. Maybe break up Kongo to give someone else, like the number 2 or whatever of Kongo. But who is the number 2 really? I don't know. I don't know. Manabu Soya, is he number 2 of Kongo? No, I mean, I was arguably Kano, and number 1 was Nakajima. So I think Kano is your very good shot of winning. I think he has a solid A block. I don't think it'd be Jake Lee. I pray to God it's not Jake Lee. Thatcher, no. Brooks, no. Morris, no. I love that. That'd be funny. Yoshioka, no. Kiyomiya and Inamura, no. Right? It's Kano, it screams him. B block? I don't know. Nakajima? Shiozaki, maybe?
It's just gonna be Nakajima and Kano again.
Yeah. You know what I would love? Dr. Wagner Jr.
That'd be real
versus
gross.
Kano. Like, give me something interesting.
Aren't they on the same block?
Who?
Wagner Jr. and Kano aren't in the same block?
No, it's Dr. Wagner Jr.'s in B block with
Hell yeah. Give me that final right
I
now.
mean B block, yeah, B block's looking sexy. You got Dr. Wagner Jr., Go Shiozaki, Katsuhiko Nakajima, Yuma Zai, he's not dead, he's not injured. That's a sexy block right there. That's what you want out of this.
I
This
think
whole
you're just
thing.
saying that whatever block didn't have Jake Lee, you were going to prefer. So.
I mean, that's also correct. I mean, because the downside of B block has got Saxon Huxley in there, and it's like, who gives a crap? Let's see. So the final night.
Wonder what Lance Anoa'i is cooking.
I don't know, he's cooking. So this is the final night. Again, not necessarily match order. It's the final night, which may give us some light about who could win this. It's interesting right off the bat, Scotty. I'll tell you that much. Final night, Jake Lee versus Kano. Who? Interesting. Champion versus probable winner? That's interesting. You also got Jack Morris versus Adam Brooks. Fun international flavor.
Wait, don't they have a separate final night?
No, this is according to... Well, they have a final night, but this is the finals of the block matches.
Okay.
We're all on the same page here?
Yeah.
The grand final is on Edion Arena on September 3rd. August 27th is the last night of the blocks. Last night of the blocks, you got Jake Lee versus Kano. You got Jack Morris versus Adam Brooks. You got Masa Kiyomiya versus Timothy Thatcher. And you have Yoshiki Inamura versus Yuki Yoshioka. That match is not going to matter. Jack Morris, Adam Brooks, maybe? Masa Kiyomiya, Timothy Thatcher, I feel like that's going to matter. But Kano and Jake Lee, to me, reads is like, that's just an A block decider. Right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like saying Jake Lee and A block decider in the same sentence, but...
I mean, Shiozaki Nakajima feels like a decider.
Yeah, I mean, so B block finals, you got Shiko Shiozaki versus Nakajima. I mean, that screams final there.
That's real pro wrestling.
Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Manabu Soya. I mean, outside chance.
The other two matches do not matter.
The other ones, Lance Anoa'i and Daiki Inaba, nothing. Newman Zai versus Saxon Huxley. That's a nothing match. It's really Nakajima, Ko Shiozaki. Maybe there's a scenario where like one knocks the other and then neither of them win, and then Dr. Wagner Jr. gets his way up there. Maybe that's a dream. But really looks like, you just have on the final night 2 matches that matter, and that might be it. And I think that kind of leads into the whole thing about N1 this year. Last year, it felt more exciting. This year, you got no Kaito Kiyomiya. All your olds are gone. No Muto.
No Kaito Kiyomiya. It's so bad.
No hard skull dude or whatever the fuck. Fujita is not in this. No Muto. No Kaito Kiyomiya. You got Jake Lee, the boring ass champion. Kano might win this, and that could be fun. But then he's gonna have the final match where he beats the champion. I don't know. You got Go Shiozaki versus Nakajima. That should be a great match. And then maybe Nakajima Kano. That should be a great match. But right now, this tournament lasting like a month and a half, and it kind of looks like there's just 2 matches at the very end that matter. I hate to say it.
Kaito Kiyomiya hurts me.
Yeah. How do you feel about this?
Thankfully.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on this tournament.
Kaito Kiyomiya is in the G1. How do I feel about this tournament? I'm gonna watch some of it, not all of it, and just hoping for some good matches.
Yeah, I think I think this year at the N1, the best you can hope for is pick and choosing some good matches. Watch those 2 matches at the finals I talked about. Maybe
make myself watch Jake Lee, and I don't know why.
See, because he's champion. If he wasn't champion, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't watch Jake Lee.
Yeah, you would watch it.
I would, maybe. I'm not, like, that's the thing. I'm not planning on watching all these matches this year.
No.
I'm not even planning necessarily doing that for the 5-star this year, but, when they have shows where it's like 3 matches that matter, I'll probably just do that. Probably just watch the 3
Probably
matches
watch
then.
all their main shows, but if you watched all the G1, you could at least treat yourself to a good tournament.
How dare you?
You watch Chase Owens willingly.
That is true. Hey, Chase Owens versus
The worst professional wrestler signed to a major company.
What if I told you that Chase Owens versus Hikuleo was actually good?
People say that's the worst match of all time.
I thought it was actually pretty good.
That's terrifying.
I'll be honest. I mean, it was like one of Hikuleo's best matches that I've seen of the first 5 nights.
Terrifying. I was told by multiple people that is the worst G1 match they've ever seen.
No, I think Kenta and Yano have had worse shit.
It has a 3.80.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Dave Meltzer gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I went 3.
The fact he graded it is actually the most shocking one.
Yeah, he grades all the matches if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, I think Hikuleo's had worse matches, and I think Kenta is one of those people. So let's talk about the G1 Climax. Let's end up the show here, the New Japan G1 Climax. I am up to night 5 because I was sick and I could not watch it as much as I would love to when you're sick.
The G1 Climax sucks.
All right, so you're at night 10. Talk to me. Give me your thoughts overall right now, G1 Climax.
Okay, the G1 Climax doesn't suck, but it's really bad. So every other day, the shows suck. If it's an A and B day, it's a great day. Good G1 day. That day involves Chase Owens, mind you. Just saying. If it's a CD day, holy hell, you do not want to watch any of it. I watched the latest day, right? Here are the matches I watched, okay? Hanare versus David Finlay. Mikey Nichols versus Eddie Kingston. Tetsuya Naito versus Alex Coughlin. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shane Haste. Tama Tonga versus Shingo Takagi. And Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Hiroki Goto. Guess which one I thought was the best?
I mean, Tanahashi, Goto.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shane Haste. That's how bad these days suck.
Oof.
Goto's hurt. He got hurt in the tournament.
Oh, he did?
So he's wrestling. Yeah, legit hurt.
Oh.
Tanahashi doing his best. Tama Tonga and Shingo Takagi went to a goddamn 20-minute time limit draw. Takagi has 5 points.
Yeah, I got the standings in front of me.
5 points. He's not gonna make it.
Well, let's talk about the standings, right? Let's. Do you have any other thoughts before I get into this? I guess.
Yeah, last week was the best 3-day run the G1's had. It felt like the G1, the Corkins, and the Oda show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to talk about that real quick. Thank you.
Please do.
Thank you.
Please do.
Sonata versus Kaito Kiyomiya. Fantastic. Kaito Kiyomiya walking away with an MVP in this tournament. Everyone else, where the hell are you? Wow. The Noah guy's showing you up.
Wow.
Yota Tsuji, a bitch-ass loser.
How dare you say that about Yota Tsuji?
You know what his record is?
Not good.
He has 1 win
against Chase Owens.
Yes,
that's his only win in New Japan.
It's coming back.
It's coming back. And he's still over.
I don't give a shit. All 3 of them are over.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
They're very over. They're the most over people in the tournament, which is where I get into my other point. Gato's a coward.
Oh my god.
He's a coward.
Stiff.
You should be pushing these guys. Instead, the best parts of this tournament have been Yota Tsuji, Shota Umino, Kazuchika Okada, and Kaito Kiyomiya. Do you know what day they're on? They're all on the same day. So you can imagine my pain when I watched the other day. What else has been good? What else was good last week? Kazuchika Okada and Yoshihashi. Shout out Yoshihashi and Taichi. Put some respect on their names, please.
Mm-hmm. Especially
Taichi. The next day, Tomohiro Ishii and Eddie Kingston was phenomenal. I'm just gonna say that it was phenomenal. My favorite match of the tournament.
So here's the thing I've heard that I sort of agree with about that. The thing about this G1 Climax tournament is that you have to also remember and put in context of like back in the good old days of G1 Climax tournaments, you had tag matches that opened up these shows that were a fully skippable. and then you can go into the meat and potatoes of G1. Now you have
and they were all great.
Yeah. Now you have openers that are actual G1 Climax matches that, not saying that they can't be great, but in match structure and show layout, they're not going to be,
Yeah.
You have the ability to have all great hitters after hitters, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Here's what I said yesterday. So the wrong Bushiroad company is running a tournament with more than 20 people.
Yeah,
there's not 20 people to make this tournament great.
No. I can agree with that statement immediately of a night 5. There's not.
How are you enjoying the War Dogs?
At night 5, Coughlin had a Jeff Cobb match that was pretty good.
I haven't liked Coughlin at all.
Beyond that one. Beyond that, they're doing story, character gimmick driven stuff. I like the Ren Narita Gabe Kidd one, where Ren Narita's like, hey, screw you, dude. But they're just doing story, they're just doing the Jay White, they're just doing the Tamatonga. They're just trying to get over that they're heels and bad guys. That's all they're doing at night 5. I don't know what they're doing at night 10, but
I'll tell you what they're doing at night 10. Gabe Kidd and Kaito had a good count out. Really good count out.
Shout out Podcast Network.
Yes, you're welcome. Okada and Ospreay was good.
Yeah, of course.
Are you shocked?
No. How do you feel about the time limit?
Them giving away the win?
No, the time limit. Not necessarily the time limit draws, but this idea of, Ospreay Okada not doing a 30-minute classic, but they have to do a 20-minute thing. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that time limit, having shorter matches and having shorter shows, but not being able to go a full 30 or something?
Overall, I think it's a good thing,
but
it does hurt when you get to those matches.
Sure, you can feel it.
It does hurt when but there hasn't been many Okada versus Ospreys, so it's been okay.
That's fair.
I don't know. It's just.
Well, let's talk about the blocks.
Sonata's undefeated.
Yeah, so let's talk about these blocks. So you got A block. Sonata's won this. He's got this in the bag. He's got 10 points undefeated, right? Everyone has gotten draws basically left and right, except for Sonata, Chase Owens, and Hikuleo. So Sonata's got it in the bag at 10 points. This is the block where you're fighting over second place. We sort of talked about this in the preview, that there's probably going to be a block like this. So at 6 points, you got Shota Umino and Kaito Kiyomiya. 5 points, Gabe Kidd. 4 points, Chase Owens and Hikuleo. 3 points, Yota Tsuji. 2 points, hasn't won a match. You're dogging on Yota Tsuji. Hasn't won a match. 2 points.
Yeah, but we know Ren Narita isn't him.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But 2 points, 0 wins, Ren Narita. So basically, Sonata's getting the win, and this is probably going to be a match to decide who faces Kazuchika Okada. Is it Shota Umino? Is it Kaito Kiyomiya? Gabe Kidd has a chance to sneak in there.
I love Shota. I do. If it's anyone but Kaito Kiyomiya, they did this wrong.
It does feel like it has to be Kaito Kiyomiya, right? We talked about it in the preview. It feels like it has to be Kaito. I
also just called him the MVP, so if he doesn't make it, I'll be very angry.
I guess that's also true. You gotta back up your claim here.
He has been. I've enjoyed his matches the most. Haven't seen his Chase Owens match.
Yeah, I believe there's 8 points roughly outstanding. So Shota Umino or Kaito have a chance to maybe get first place. Sonata would have to lose probably the rest of his matches.
2. One of them, I'm pretty sure, is against Chase Owens.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to do that. So it's possible, but really, it's you're talking second place.
It's gotta be Kaito.
It's gotta be Kaito. Who else does Kaito have to face? Do we have a?
He has Hikuleo and Ren Narita.
Yeah, that's a good shot. That's a good chance of winning the whole thing. At best, he beats probably Hikuleo and maybe draws against Narita. At worst, right?
Shota faces Tsuji, so just toss another draw. And then
I would love to not do a draw there and do like one actual win. That would be impressive. But it'd probably be a
so
draw.
funny if Suji lost.
I would hate that. As a Gene Blaster myself, I would be greatly upset.
Yeah, the Genes haven't been blasting lately.
They got blasted versus Chase Owens, but is that a full Gene Blast? Is that a satisfying Gene Blast?
That's a reverse.
That's a Gene Suck. And so Shota versus Suji. What's the other match?
What, tomorrow?
Sure, whenever it is.
Sonata, Gabe Kidd, Hikuleo, Kaito Kiyomiya, Ren Narita, and Chase Owens.
So who's Shota facing?
Suji.
Oh no, not the Suji match.
Oh, the last day?
Yeah, last day.
Hikuleo.
Okay, so that's probably a win.
Who has beaten the other two?
So Hikuleo has to face Shota and Kaito Kiyomiya. You would think he loses both of those, and then it basically comes down to Suji and Ren Narita. Interesting.
What about Suji and Ren Narita?
Didn't you say it's Suji versus Umno? No, it's not that. What is it?
He's facing Gabe Kidd on the last night.
That's what it is. Let's just go to B block. I'm confused about it. I don't have a schedule in front of me. B block,
Okada.
So yeah, basically tied at 8 points each, 4-1 each. Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay battling over first place. You got Taichi at 6 points. You have Yoshihashi, Kenta, and Tangaloa all at 4 points. You got Great Khan, El Phantasmo, both essentially eliminated at 2 points.
El Phantasmo only has one win.
Only one win.
You sure?
That's what, according to Post Wrestling, the website I'm looking at. He is 1-3.
That's not enough matches.
That's not enough matches. You're right. That is 1-3, and everyone else has 5 matches, and according to this, he has 4. So Post Wrestling, we found a bug. Your goddamn website. You're canceled. You're canceled, John Pollock. You hear me? Hear me, Way? You're canceled.
Whoa.
Whoa, hey now. Whoa, hey, you. Settle down.
Let me talk to you.
Please. Yeah, please. Give me the El Phantaz score update. Proper score update.
El Phantasmo has 4 points.
He's got 4 points. Who is he beating?
Kenta and Tangaloa.
Great. So he's got 4 points. He's tied with Yoshihashi, Kenta, and Tangaloa. Great Khan eliminated. You would have to think basically the 4 point people probably eliminated. It looks like this block, it might be Taichi at second place. And then Okada. Well, no, that wouldn't make any sense. It might just be going down to Okada versus Ospreay. Something could happen with Taichi. Maybe a 4-point person squeaks up into the win here. But do you really think either Yoshihashi, Kenta, Tangaloa, or El Phantasmo are squeaking past Okada and Ospreay at this point?
I sure hope not.
Yeah. So it's probably just going to be between Okada and Ospreay, and it's just a matter of who gets first, who gets second. You would think with Kaito and Shota and all them in A block, Okada's getting first, Ospreay's getting second. Despite Ospreay beating Okada. So there'll be some point differential
maybe
there somewhere.
Maybe Phantasmo beats him the last night or something.
Yeah. Beats Ospreay?
Yeah.
That sounds plausible.
He still makes it, but loses first seed.
And that might be like a kind of maybe decider for second place. Maybe El Phantasmo second run. He doesn't get to second place, but he plays spoiler.
That could happen.
C block, you got 8 points each. David Finlay and Evil. 7. At 7 points, you have Tama Tonga. 6 points, Eddie Kingston. 5 points, Shingo. And then all eliminated, Hanare, Mikey Nichols, Tomohiro Ishii at 2 points.
Is that what hell looks like? David Finlay and Evil as your top 2.
With Tama Tonga,
Tama
Tonga, Eddie Kingston definitely still in it, and Shingo like late stage run trying to make his way through, but he's
Shingo has to win out and hope everyone else loses.
Yeah, but he's drawing against Tama Tonga over here. And it's like, come on, my guy, what are you doing?
Lost to Hanare.
It's I mean, I got nothing on this one. I got
It's
nothing.
bad.
I mean, David Finley,
I'm guessing
Evil.
Evil doesn't make it.
Yeah, I'm thinking David Finley or Evil are definitely in the top two. One of them might
They're
get
trying to
spoiled out.
establish David Finley, so
Yeah, I would think, and he's also a champion. So I would think David Finley, he's making it through, and then just probably not Eddie
fake
Kingston.
belt, but yeah.
Probably not Eddie Kingston. So maybe Shingo, maybe Tama makes it. What's that last night for C Block?
Didn't he make it last time?
Who, Shingo?
Tonga?
I believe so.
Wasn't he in it last year?
I believe he
Him and
was.
Okada?
I believe it was.
Because for some reason people asked for that.
So what's that C Block final night
I'm
for them?
getting it.
I know.
Eddie Kingston and David Finley.
Interesting.
Shingo Takagi and Evil.
Interesting.
Tonga and Hanare. And Ishii and Mikey Nichols.
That'd be an interesting spot to give Hanare another win if you want to get Tama Tonga completely out. Because otherwise, you're giving Tama Tonga another win?
Yeah, you should do. You should just get Shingo into this damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's because that's the thing. Hanare being Tama Tonga could be interesting because, I mean, Tama winning puts him right in contention of first and second place. So having Hanare beat him final night, that gets him out. And now you've got basically Finley and Eddie and Shingo and Evil. And that's going to decide first and second place right there.
Right.
I presume. Shingo still has a little work to get there, though. D Block, I don't want to say if it's necessarily your favorite block, but it's certainly doing something to you.
It is the block of pain for me.
The block of pain. The D stands for pain.
So sad.
8 points, Jeff Cobb and Zack Sabre Jr. Naito and Tanahashi at 6 points. 4 points, Goto and Shane Hayes, probably gone, eliminated. And 2 points, Alex Coughlin, Toru Yano. Just straight up 8, 6, 4, 2. No shenanigans. No nonsense. 8, 6, 4, 2. Everybody is kind of basically even footing. Basic block. We're thinking Naito, Jeff Cobb, Naito, Tanahashi, final night. Is that decider still?
Their deciders are Goto and Sabre, Jeff Cobb and Shane Haste, Toru Yano and Alex Cobb, and Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tetsuya Naito.
So Cobb might be getting the win over Shane Haste. Maybe a spoiler, but I don't think so. Who was Naito against?
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh, yes, of course. How can you forget? Who was Zack Sabre Jr. against then? Goto?
Hiroki Goto.
All right. So, I mean, realistically, for Naito and Tanahashi, I'm just doing this off the top of my dome, folks. For Naito and Tanahashi to get into the first or second place, Cobb and Zack Sabre Jr. have to probably lose both of those matches, if not at least one of those matches.
Tanahashi ain't getting in, so it's Naito gets in. One of those two are out, I'm sure.
Yeah, Naito would have to get in, and you would have to think Cobb and Zack Sabre Jr. are going to lose one of those matches. Is it Cobb losing to Shane Haste, or is it Sabre losing to Goto, an injured Goto? I don't know. Don't know. Who's to say? Who is
fighting through it? So
yeah, you got to give him that much. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad to hear that you're not enjoying the G1 Climax. As I watch 5 more nights to catch up.
I'm enjoying the.
Yeah, what are some stuff you're enjoying? Let's get some positivity. What are things that you've enjoyed?
Odd nights of the G1 are good.
What are some of your favorite matches from those matches? The things for me to look forward to, please, for the love of God.
What the hell was day 5? Tell me where that was.
Let me pull up my handy dandy match guide here. I believe day 5 was an AB block night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's an odd. Sonata and Tsuji?
Yes, Sonata and Tsuji. I love that match.
That was a great night. They had 3 good matches for once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I liked that night. Ishii and Shingo was good, not great.
Good, not great.
Night. Well, for me.
Yeah. How was Hanare Eddie Kingston? Was that 2 guys battling over punching each other to death?
It was fine.
Was there Bullet Club shenanigans between Evil and Finley?
Painfully amount.
Oh God.
And there was no angle. Just shenanigans.
Was Chris Sampson right in saying that on night 7 there was something exciting happening between Great O'Khan and Will Ospreay?
They had a good match.
Oof. I'm just giving my immediate thoughts. Sanada and Kaito, was that good?
Sanada and Kaito was at that point my favorite match of the tournament.
Got something to look forward to. Was Kenta versus Taichi bullshit or no?
Of course, I love the Muto Bowl, dude.
Was Kenta versus Taichi bullshit or no?
I gave it 1 star.
Oh god! I saw that. I'm like, that feels like bullshit right there.
They played music beforehand. They
did a dance battle.
Kenta was playing his air guitar with his belt while Taichi sang, and then the match pretty much ended in seconds.
Night 8, you said Ishii and Eddie was good, not great.
Ishii and Eddie's my favorite match of the tournament.
All right, so it was the other one you said. It was the
Shingo and Ishii.
Okay, match of the tournament right there. That's something to good look forward to.
Cobb and Saber were good too.
Cobb and Saber, all right, that's good. That I'm looking forward to that. Gabe Kidd and Kaito Kiyomiya, I heard was interesting.
It was excellent. Yeah, it was great. And Okada and Ospreay.
Yeah, of course, that was going to be great.
And the most recent night was the worst night I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so that was give me the best match in night 10.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shane Haste.
Oh yeah, you already said that.
And you said, excuse me?
And that was the third. That was not the main or the semi-main. Oh man, that's a rough night. Yeah, that's I think the downside to this kind of tournament layout is that in not having tag matches opening the show is that you have a lot more stinkers opening up the shows. I think that's a downside to this sort of tournament. The upside...
You know what's the downside to this sort of tournament? You shouldn't be having 32 people with 16 stinkers.
Remember how Aussie Open was going to be in this tournament? 100%, 100% going to be in this tournament?
Yep.
And then they got Mad Mikey Nichols?
Yep.
Hey,
Mad Mikey Nichols hasn't been the weak point.
No, you're right. You're right. He has not been a weak point.
He's done his best. You know, I can appreciate someone's best, damn it, when everyone else stinks.
I can appreciate Mad Mikey. God.
Mad Mikey and Shane Haste deserve some goddamn respect after this tournament.
All right, that's good.
They're going out there and trying. They're not wasting my time like certain other people.
Has the Shane Haste or Mad Mikey Nichols Hiroshi Tanahashi matches happened yet? Whoever's in that same block as Tanahashi? Has the Shane Haste Tanahashi match happened yet? Yes, it did. Who won that? Didn't Shane Haste win that? It was like a night 4 or something.
Shane Haste beat Naito.
Is that who I'm thinking of?
Yeah, that was fun.
Shane Haste versus Tanahashi night 4. Who won that match? Gotta look this up now. Shane Haste.
I think Tanahashi
won. I mean, right off the dome, it feels like Tanahashi had to have won that match. That's the match that I fully believe was probably going to be Tanahashi versus Kyle Fletcher.
This sucks.
I can't even find it on a cage match. Fuck it. I'm done. We're done. Let's get out of here. We're done. We'll be back with a better episode next week.
Hey, I thought this was pretty good.
It was nice and flowing. We'll have more structure and all that stuff. I thought it was a good show. And next week we're going to talk in. Hopefully I'll be caught up by the G1 next week. We'll see about that.
Previewing the final, right? Pretty much, or the semis or something.
Yeah, previewing the semis for sure. Next week we'll probably be previewing those semis. We'll talk about opening night Noah N1 victory and how exciting that was. Talking SummerSlam and how boring the matches were, but great the crowd was.
Oh, come on. I just talked about it. You know what? SummerSlam's better than the whole G.
Wow. That's a
to
hot
that
take.
point. To that point.
We're, of course, going to be previewing.
You know why? Because it's going to be a lot shorter.
If I'm not mistaken, I was mistaken last time we...
I take the G1 comment back. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, he I know for a fact he does not mean it, folks. I'm egging him on. He's
I'm just
being egged.
angry.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have an all-in match. If we have an all-in match scheduled by the next time we record.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll talk about it, I guess.
Next week will probably be more G1 Climax, maybe more 5-star, more. We'll talk about Noah SummerSlam review, and Scotty's excited about that Triple Mania Mexico City preview coming at you.
Triple Mania the worst show of all time?
Do you know? Let's check out Lucha Blog. Do they have any matches announced? Oh wait, they have that 4-way. They have that 4-way match announced. That was the hair versus mask match. That's now a 4-way. That doesn't really matter whatsoever.
Here's an even better question. Why do they suck so bad?
Conan, probably. Be my best guess. We'll talk. God, this show. This Triple Mania show, Scotty. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Mask versus hair match. LA Park, Sam Adonis, Psycho Clown, Roosh. I mean, that should be the best match on the show, probably. The AAA Mega title match. Give me a guess on who is in this match. Give me the best guess you got. Obviously, Viking. The AAA Mega title match. 4-way. Obviously, Vikingo. Who else is in it?
I remember it being ass.
Do your best guess. You got an American, you got a Canadian, and you got, I think this guy's American, but he's of Hispanic. No, he actually is from Mexico. So you have a Mexican, a Canadian, and an American.
Did they get QT Marshall in there?
Nope, he's in a different match. Fighting for a vacant.
Sam Adonis?
Nope, he's in the 4-way, the hair versus mask match.
Oh, right. I don't care.
All right, so. You got Mike Bailey.
Well, that's good.
You got Jack Cartwheel.
That's.
And you got Daga. Of course, you have the Latin American title on a vacant 4-way. So many 4-ways. The 3 main event matches are all 4-ways. The Latin American title, Pentagon, Drolistico, Brian Cage, QT Marshall. There's a good chance QT Marshall's winning the title here. It's Taya Valkyrie versus Flamer. Get into it. Get into it, folks. Jesus Christ. Conan has the gall to go onto his own podcast and knock on the booking of every other major promotion. And he's booking Brian Cage, Drolistico, Pentagon, and QT Marshall for a vacant title. He's booking Daga, Mike Bailey, and Jack Cartwheel for the biggest show of the year, folks, versus Vikingo. What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyways, Scotty, please get us out of the show. Give me your match of the week. Give me some plugs. I'm sure the fans at home love this show. But we got to get out of here, go to bed so I can upload this goddamn podcast so that we can come back next week and preview Triple Mania. That's what we got to do on the docket. That's what we need to do. I'm about to cough and die some more, and maybe next week I'll be better. Maybe next week I'll be dead. Who the heck knows? But Scotty, give me some plugs.
Follow me on Twitter at Scotty Wrestling.
Twitter? What the hell's Twitter?
They got rid of the logo on their headquarters already.
It took a day.
The bird's gonna be back because they couldn't get X.com, so it doesn't matter. Match of the week: Mascara Dorada 2.0 versus Rocky Romero.
I really want to see that match. I need to catch up on CMLO.
I'll have an interview out Wednesday.
Ooh, can you announce who it is?
No, actually, I could. It's done. But I'll just say she has an event on Friday. Her own, named after her. If you can't figure that out, then oof.
Oof. And you got something coming out for Stardom Road? Not Stardom. No, yeah, Stardom Road.
Till next week.
That's the next week. But you want to talk about what that is to get some more
Yeah,
stuff?
be a 2-part Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't want to do research. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, we're serious. But we also want to answer questions. Kind of go through the history of Stardom. We have plenty already. So, but if you for some reason want to toss one over, shoot it to me over on Twitter, shoot it to me on Discord, whichever you prefer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll make sure to add it. But it should be a fun 2 episodes as we talk our favorites of whatever, and talk about who shoulda, who coulda, things like that. Should be a lot of fun. So
Especially like any
be there.
and especially any historical questions,
Yeah,
about Stardom.
preferably you ask historical questions.
Yeah,
But we got a few about current day too that we'll answer.
of course, of course.
Keep it spicy.
Keep it spicy. Well, you can follow me on social media at Ryan Knight. So you can follow Scotty at Scott E Wrestling. Follow the whole show at Count Out Pod. There's a bunch of podcasts on the network for Count Out. You got Ring Post Radio. You got Your Dose of Death. You got Stardom Road, the aforementioned Stardom Road. And of course, if you're enjoying the G1 Climax, I think these guys are definitely enjoying the G1 Climax. And if you want more thoughts on the individual shows of the G1 Climax, check out Okada Shorts. They've been doing essentially daily audio for the G1 Climax, a show for every night. I believe they are all the way up to night 9, and I think night 10 will probably come out maybe tomorrow. I'm not going to speak too soon. I have to check my Slack to see if I got a Slack from them about publishing an episode. No, I do not. But maybe I'll get one overnight because one of the guys lives in Australia. But the Okada Shorts. If you want G1 Climax, if you want basically daily audio about G1 Climax, Okada Shorts is the place to be. Quick little 20, 30-minute bites on thoughts about the G1 Climax and how it's going for them so far. They've got some positive notes. They talk the negas when they do. And it's very interesting. So again, Okada Shorts on the Count Out Network. Match of the week. Scotty didn't give your match of the week, but if I had to give my match of the week, it would be the AEW World Tag Team title match from Collision, because I'm a Collider now. Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood versus MJF and Adam Cole. All the bullshit dancing stuff out of the way. We got some good old classic tag team wrestling. This is what being a Collider is all about, and I'm happy to be one now. Scotty, what was your match of the week?
I said Dorada and Rocky Romero.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I wasn't paying attention to you. Oh, man. Now you're wishing Dylan's back. You come back and you get the horns. You get the horns, baby. The Bulls. The Roosh Bulls back in action, baby. Oh, he's back. He's better. He's better than ever. He's slowly dying. I need to drink some water. My throat is gone.
End the show!
See you, everybody. Goodbye.